Hi, everyone, and welcome to my first podcast episode. Today's video is going to be on what it was like growing up as a Guyanese person. I think it's a great way to introduce myself to you guys, so you guys know a little bit about me, my background, my upbringing. And we can just get into like other things later on, but I think this is a great introduction video, so let's get into it. I am now 26 years old. I come from two amazing Guyanese parents. I was born here in Toronto, Canada, and it was kind of tough. It was kind of tough in the sense that I just didn't know where I belonged. Where are my friends? Why aren't there other people like me? Why don't I get along with other Caribbean people, like specifically Guyanese and Trinidadian people? Why? These are my people. Why can't I get along with them? Why don't I like them? And this is what this video is about. So if you are interested in all of that, then let's get into it. So I feel like I grew up a little bit different. I come from two Guyanese parents that are Christian. I am baptized. I grew up in the Lutheran church. And with that being said, that alone within itself, I found was really different because all of the Indo Caribbean people that I grew up with, they're all Hindu. I never actually came across anybody until later on in my life that was also Christian. They were brought up a lot more differently than I was. They really took that West Indian life and like just really blew it up. You know what I mean? Like partying all the time, drinking all the time. They like really were like your typical Caribbean people, which is awesome. Good for them. But it's just not how I grew up. My parents were not like that. So we didn't have that type of lifestyle growing up. So I couldn't really relate to that. I wasn't into any of that. I wasn't into going to any of the all ages events. I wasn't into drinking and partying and like doing any of that. Yeah, we had parties at my house. It just wasn't every weekend. Um we were allowed to drink growing up, but we were just not into it. Like it's just like we did like I didn't partake in any of the stereotypes of what made a Caribbean person, needless to say. And because of that it was kind of hard. I didn't really get along with the Caribbean people that were in my school just because they always told me that I was like whitewashed because I was more of like on the alternative side growing up, especially middle school and early in high school. I was very alternative. Um, so they would tease me for it. We were still friends, but they weren't real friends. Like they were not real friends. They said that they were. She always wanted to look out for me, but she wasn't looking out for me. She wanted to turn me into like a typical like West Indian girl, you know? And I just wasn't really here for that. Um, but I'm really glad that like I tried learning to be friends with her and realizing it wasn't for me. So I hopped from friend group to friend group a lot because I just kind of wanted to find a place where like I fit in. And like it's such a funny thing because growing up like you're always trying to find a way to fit in with people and you don't necessarily have to fit in with anyone. But I don't think you realize that until you're older. You want to put yourself in this box and identify with this one label, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I didn't realize that until later on in my life. I would say maybe closer to approaching 25 is really when I realized that, where I could appreciate all of the things without having to put myself in that one box. I look totally normal now, right? But I still carry a lot of those like emo personality traits and alternative things that I like. Like I still listen to the music. I still wear my combat boots. I still love tattoos and piercings and a side part. And that doesn't make me any less girly than I am because I still feel that I'm still super girly. And Ariana Grande is like one of my biggest inspos when it comes to fashion and makeup and hair. And I just feel like I could appreciate all of that without being put into a box. And I think that if that was a message I could send to my younger self is don't let anybody make you feel that you need to be put into this box or throw a label on yourself. Like that's the biggest message I think that I would give myself and to anybody else watching this is to not just feel like you need to throw a label on yourself or feel that you need to fit in or whatever. You know, you'll find friends that appreciate all of you without anything. without you having to pretend that you don't like something. Like I remember when I was friends with my alternative group, and I was friends with them from middle school until I graduated high school. That's a long friendship. It wasn't a fully real friendship because I still had to hide parts of myself that I loved, which was parts of my culture. Like I love my culture's music. I love soca. I love chutney. I love all of that, and I had to hide that from my friends because they didn't like it. They didn't get it. I remember one of my best friends at the time making fun of the way that Caribbean people dance because she's like, "What kind of dancing is that? Like you're just moving your hips." And it's like, "Baby, I'm sorry, you can move your hips. That's why you're mad." But like that kind of that kind of cheesed me. I was like, why are you moving like that? I don't know. I don't know. That rubbed me the wrong way. Because if there's anything Caribbean people can do, is dance. Like, let's just throw that out there. If there's anything we could do, is wind up that waist. So, I don't know. That's what I mean. It's just like, there's no need for any of that. And I found that pretty hard because growing up, my first group of friends were Indian. And then it turned into this mixed group of friends that were, Slovenian and Indian and Pakistani and Jamaican, all mixed into a group. We're all alternative, but like it was like everybody forced themselves to be like more alternative, and then hiding that like other part of their personality because like they were ashamed of their like culture or whatever. Like you know what I mean? It was just kind of ridiculous, and I feel like if you need to hide any part of your personality to your friends, they are not your real friends. And the identity crisis is real. And I mean that truly. Because you don't often, I don't know about y'all, but I know about me over here. There's not like a ton of Caribbean people. So, like, that within itself is hard. And I don't know. I find that you could either be, it's like there's no middle. It's either you're an extremely successful West Indian person or you are the type to work on your Honda Civic and drink your day away. Like, there's no middle ground. So I chose to not be that kind, and I didn't want to be around those people all the time because unfortunately the Caribbean people that were in my neighborhood were the kind that were fixing their Honda Civic all day and drinking and smoking and skipping class. And you just don't want to do that. Like you still want to be on track with life. And I didn't want to fit into that stereotype of like your stereotypical West Indian person that has no ambition. That's just me though. Anyways, growing up, that part's over. Whatever. I found it to be kind of hard. But then after I graduated, I kind of just like started making friends with more people, making friends with people in the jobs that I was working at. And then I had realized after that school is not real. The people that you meet in school are not real. And what I mean by that is all that made up shit that you think about and you pretend and play around with, once you are outside of that bubble, school, things change. Things are completely different. They are not what you think they are at all by any means. Life is good. You can make friends with people of all races and ages. But some of my closest friends are damn near 50. But it's because they get it. Your culture, the way that you are, they accept every bit of it. That's what real friends are. They accept every little bit of it. They don't judge you for all the little random things that you like. You shouldn't have to hide those things that you like just so that you could keep being in your friend group. There's no need for that, guys. Anyways, that's what it was like for me growing up. It was confusing. It was weird. It was rough. It was confusing. But at the end of the day, I'm engaged to my Trinidadian fiance that accepts me for every weird thing that I'm into. And you will find friends. You will find a partner. You will find people that accept and understand all those weird things that you're into because people are more accepting of themselves. And I feel like once you start accepting who you are as a person, then other people will accept you too. But you have to accept yourself first. That's what I had to do. I had to accept the fact that I love Screamo and Chutney and Soca. I had to accept the fact that I love wearing pink and pink is my favorite color, but fuck, I love throwing on some combat boots too. There's balance, and it's okay to like a little bit of everything. You don't gotta put yourself in a box. Stop putting yourself in a box. That's my biggest advice for anybody is stop putting yourself in a fucking box. Live your life. Life is short. Stop thinking that you gotta do all these things to do no. It's not worth it. We are on this earth for a pretty short time when you think about it. Enjoy the experience that you have here in this life now and forget about everything else. That's just what I want you guys to take away from this video. Anyways, this is my first podcast. I'm going to keep it short. This is kind of like a ramble at the same time, but I also got this mic for this reason. So I hope you guys like it. I hope the audio quality is okay. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. I don't know if I should keep raw uncut footage or not, but whatever. Bye.